She stood at the sink with her phone like it was a microphone and said, bright and flat, "If I want to, I can replace you in 24 hours. No smile. Just a stare over the rim of her mug like she was checking inventory and I was a cracked plate. Bold pitch for a Saturday, I told her, turning down the eggs so they wouldn't burn. You sending out applications? Or is this a walk-in position? Don't get cute, Mark. She didn't sit. You think I'm joking? I think you're testing the smoke alarm. You're not listening, she went on. Men line up. I don't have to try. Got it. There's a line. Do they take numbers or just crowd the door? She rolled her eyes so hard they probably saw the ceiling fan. Forget it. If I'd known where that line would take us by the end of the week, I would have turned off the stove and the whole day. Back then I still thought we were having a dumb morning. You know, toothpaste cap, chores, someone didn't read the calendar. Just noise. I wasn't ready for it to be a theme. She tapped her phone again. Are you coming to the show tonight or not? I told you yesterday I've got the garage with Nate. He ordered the new jack. We're finally pulling his transmission. You can go later. Not how transmissions work. So you're skipping my friend's show. I'm skipping a crowd where I stand holding your purse while you ignore me. We did that last time. Wow, she said. The martyr speech. Or, I shrugged, the schedule. That's fine, she said in a tone that meant the opposite. Really? It's fine. Noted, I replied, plating the eggs. Eat before it gets cold. She didn't. She took her phone and walked out. I ate my eggs. I'm not the guy who chases someone to beg them to like breakfast. But I also filed the phrase away. Replace you in 24 hours. Not a joke. A statement. I made 2 calls. Texted Nate to confirm the garage, and then moved our shared calendar off my phone to my laptop. Silly detail, sure. But it meant I chose when to look. Not when a ping told me where to be. That evening was the neighborhood barbecue at Mike's. She wanted me there for optics. I went because Mike helped me roof the shed last fall, and he's a good man. Optics could sit on the curb. She was already in the yard when I got there, laughing with Tara, her friend who wore opinions as jewelry. I grabbed a soda, said hi to Mike, and went to the grill. The air had that cedar smoke that sticks to you. It felt better than our kitchen. Look who made time, Tara said before I opened my mouth. Evening to you too, I answered. No art shows for our man, she pressed. He's got a real relationship with a toolbox. Toolboxes answer back less, I said. You ditching her again? Tara didn't blink. Because if you don't show up for her, somebody else will. That's so, I replied. Emma came over with a paper plate. Tara, can you not right now? What? I'm being supportive. Tara bit a chip. You always say he's. I said not now. I looked at Emma. She didn't meet my eyes. She looked out at the lawn like it had something to say. The same blank she used at home. Cold, deliberate. That's when I chose my opening rule. We're not doing threats in public, I said, not raising my voice. If you've got something to ask me, ask me. If you've got something to tell me, tell me. If it's performance, pick another stage. Excuse me. Tara laughed. I wasn't talking to you. Are you serious right now? Emma stared at me like I'd used the wrong fork. Dead serious. We can talk later if you want. Not with a peanut gallery. Mike stepped in from the grill with tongs. Food's ready. Let's eat. Finally, Tara muttered. Emma leaned closer. You're making this weird. No, I replied. The line was weird. Today I'm just drawing one. She scoffed and walked off with Tara. I felt the pull to defend myself in front of half the block. I let it pass. When you water weeds, you get more weeds. Mike flicked his eyes toward me. You good? I'm fine, I said. Want a different beer? Soda's good. We ate. Small talk moved around me like traffic. When Emma looped back with a couple from her gym, she planted herself beside me, bright voice on. This is Kevin. He runs the morning program. Kevin, this is Mark. I shook the guy's hand. How's your morning program, Kevin? Packed, he said, scanning the yard and somehow missing my face. Sounds successful. Emma touched Kevin's arm like she was directing a bus. We were just saying how some men don't show up. Sounds like a them problem, I said. Right. Tara chimed in. If you can't keep up, step aside. There's always someone who will. That's one way to look at it, I answered, finishing my soda. Here's another. If the bar keeps moving, maybe stop running and pick a different bar. Emma's smile thinned. You're being negative. No, I'm leaving. Leaving. Tara frowned. We just got plates. You can finish mine. Emma, your purse is hanging off the chair. Don't want to be stuck holding it. She blinked. What is wrong with you? Nothing. I'm declining the role of prop. I put my cup in the recycling, thanked Mike, and walked home. Not stomping. Not slamming. Just a man who had errands. At the door, I took our dinner reservation off the calendar and set a note. Separate plans Sunday. I texted Nate to start early. Then I split the budget file in two and moved my auto pay to a new account. Bills that were mine stayed mine. Her hobbies were no longer a line item. She came back around 9 with that tight look she used when she rehearsed something. She set her keys down like they were a warning. What was that? She demanded. What was what? You embarrassed me at Mike's. No, I didn't play the script you brought. You left. I chose not to sit for a skit. If you want to talk, you know where I live. We're talking now. Good. Here's a rule. You want my time? You treat me like a person. You want to test me? Do it without me. Unbelievable, she said. You're making ultimatums. Boundaries aren't ultimatums. They're instructions for how to treat me. What does that even mean? It means Sunday is mine. You'll be fine. You can't just. I just did. I slept well. Not long. I had the jack and the transmission waiting, but well. Sunday in the garage with Nate was grease, bolts, 2 busted knuckles, and actual laughs. 0 politics. 0 monologues. Nate's wife, Janelle, came in with lemonade around noon. How's it going, gents? She asked. Slow, but honest, Nate said. Meaning we broke the easy stuff and now it's work, I added. She smiled. Emma texted me. She says you left the barbecue. Everything okay? It's fine, I told her. Nate raised an eyebrow. Translation, not fine. It's fine, I repeated, because that was the right amount of disclosure for a garage. Janelle nodded. We're around if you need us. Around 3, while we were under the frame, my phone lit up with a long message from Emma. It started with, I overreacted, and ended with, can I bring lunch to your office tomorrow? I looked at the axle, wiped my hand, and typed, sure. Noon. That was my first experiment. Accept the olive branch, but keep the terms. Public performance gets the gate. Quiet outreach gets an appointment. Monday at noon, she stepped into our office lobby with a bag from the deli near the park. She made a point of greeting my boss by name. Presentation. All right. She came into the small meeting room where I'd set 2 waters. I'm sorry about Saturday. She opened, setting the bag down like a peace offering. I was cranky. I shouldn't have said that thing. What thing? Her eyes flicked up. You know, I want to hear you say it. She exhaled. The replace thing. It was rude. Correct. I wanted you at the show. Tara was pushing my buttons. It spiraled. Understood. I can be a bit much, she kept going. I know that about myself. You can be strategic, I replied. And I'm no longer volunteering for strategy. That's not fair. I brought lunch. Lunch is nice. Strategy is not. She looked around the small room. Are we really going to do this here? It takes 10 minutes. Then I have 12:30 with a client. She pulled out the sandwiches. So you're really going to keep doing the garage instead of showing up for me? I show up where I'm respected. Bring me that. I bring everything. And if I don't, then you enjoy whoever takes your number. She stared, then laughed without humor. You're serious. Completely. She slid a sandwich across. Fine. Enjoy lunch. I'll see you at home. You can call if you want to talk. Not text novels, I added. She looked up. I'm trying here. I see that. I appreciate the effort. Keep it up and we'll be all right. She left me with turkey on rye and a soft apology that sounded like a rented dress. It hung okay. It didn't fit. I ate, washed my hands, and went back to work. Tuesday she did quiet. Minimal jabs. No stage whispers on the phone. I noted it, not trusting it. When you touch a fence and it shocks you, you don't assume the electricity is gone because it didn't buzz one time. Wednesday afternoon, she switched tactics. She walked into the living room with a dress on like it was an answer and tilted her head. Tara's opening moved to Friday. You're coming. I'm not. I replied, not looking up from my laptop. Friday, I'm meeting Nate to pick up his rebuilt part. Saturday, we bolted in. You can do that next week. Nate's car is his ride to work. And I'm your wife. You're the person who told me she could replace me in a day. She folded her arms. You're going to hold that over my head forever? No. I'm going to use it to measure whether this is respect or theater. Right now it's theater. Don't talk to me like I'm some act. Then stop acting. Her jaw moved. You're not going to budge? On being treated like furniture? No. She let silence sit between us like a brick. Then she tried a different lever. Tara said a bunch of people asked where you were last time. It made me look like someone with her own life, like someone with a partner who doesn't care. Then tell them the truth. Your partner cares about standards. You're impossible. I'm consistent. She left the room. I kept working. I moved 2 meetings to earlier Friday and told Alicia, our project manager, that I'd be out at 4. Date night. Alicia asked, smiling. Jack night, I replied. Romance. It's a kind that doesn't complain. She laughed. You all right? I'm fine, I said again. You don't look like you're sleeping. I'm sleeping. I'm also separating budgets. Alicia's eyebrows rose. That's serious? It's practical. You need anything? Just the 4 p.m. out. Done, she said. And hey, you're not crazy. You get to want peace. Appreciate it. Thursday was quiet. Too quiet. That fake peace you get when a storm moves out of town, but the sky stays green. Friday late afternoon, as I was packing my bag, Alicia popped into my doorway. Your wife's at reception, she said. With a cake. A cake. She told Linda it's a thank you for supporting a good man. I zipped my bag. Of course she did. You want me to send her back? Sure. Emma came in carrying a box like Goodwill. Surprise. Hi. I thought I'd thank your team, she said. They're always so kind when you work late. Generous of you. She set the box down. Are you leaving now? I am. Where? Garage. I could come. Cheer you on. No. No. You can see the car when it runs. That's ridiculous. It's a boundary. She looked at Alicia, who had stayed in the hall pretending not to listen. So I don't get access now? You get access to kindness. You don't get access to leverage. She blinked at that, and then smiled a smile that didn't reach anything. You know what? Fine. Go be a hero in a garage. Will do. You realize men would kill for what you have. Good thing I'm allergic to murder. She frowned. You're not funny. I'm not trying to be. She straightened. If I want to, I can replace you in 24 hours. Try it. I answered level. Not angry. Not loud. Just a man reading a thermometer. Her mouth opened. For the first time, she looked like the ceiling fan wasn't hers. She took a second. Maybe I misjudged you, she said softer. Maybe I don't control you. Correct. She picked up the cake again, lighter now like a prop lost weight. We're not done. We might be closer than you think. I left. In the garage, I turned a wrench until my hands had stories. At 9, I used those same hands to move my things into the guest room. A bag. 2 drawers. My papers. I wasn't playing at leaving. I was creating space for silence. Saturday morning, she walked past the guest room door, saw the bag, and froze. What is that? Logistics. You're moving out? Not yet. I'm moving over. Why? Because peace is easier to measure when there's a door. She stepped in. This is childish. It's adult. I'm reducing exposure to disrespect. So we're roommates now? We're 2 people who need a reset. I don't consent to this. That's not required. She laughed once. You think you're impressive. No. I think I'm tired. Around noon, Nate texted me that the part was ready. I told him I'd be by after lunch. When I came out, Emma was in the kitchen cutting fruit like she was on a commercial. I can make dinner tonight, she said casually. Your favorite. We can watch that show you like. Thanks, I answered, grabbing my keys. I'll be back late. She set the knife down with a tap. You're running away. I'm driving to a friend's house who needs help. We covered this. What if I need help? Call Tara. She didn't have a reply for that. I left with the same calm that had carried me through the week. In the garage, Nate handed me a socket and squinted. You sure you're okay? He asked for the 3rd time. I'm drawing boundaries. Those hurt sometimes. They're supposed to. We finished by dinner. I stayed for a plate and stories about high school that weren't even mine and felt better than my kitchen. I got home to a candlelit table. She had gone overboard. Plate set, music low, a dress too formal for our dining room. Wow, I said. Sit, she smiled. Let's start over. I'll eat, I told her. I won't pretend. Can we not fight tonight? I'm not fighting. I'm choosing. Through the meal, she poured kindness like syrup. Questions about my day. Hands reaching for mine. Little compliments that sounded focus grouped. I let it wash over me. It was better than the cold. It also had strings. At dessert, she tied them. Tara's birthday is Sunday. We're going. Together. I'll stop by, I replied. 90 minutes. In my own car. She frowned. Together. Separate cars, I repeated. Access depends on behavior. That's the rule. So you're punishing me? I'm protecting myself. She's smart. She didn't push it further. She nodded and shifted to neutral stories about Tara's new job in the restaurant. I cleared the plates. In the guest room, I set my alarm and checked my list for Monday. Call my realtor about the small condo I'd looked at when the market dipped. Back then it seemed unnecessary. Now it looked like a life raft that had always been there. Sunday afternoon, at the restaurant, I stood just inside the door and scanned for exits like a guy who had learned. Tara saw me first. "Oh look," she announced. He actually came. "Hi, Tara." Emma slid up next to me. "You made it." 90 minutes. I reminded her. "Clock starts now." She laughed a little too loud. "You're so funny." "Not today." We made our way to the table. 14 people, loud and leaning in. These were Emma's people. Hand talkers, quick eyes, constant assessments. I'm good in rooms. I fix things when they break. I don't sell myself like a product. That's not my sport. Halfway through, when drinks hit and stories started circling, Tara raised a glass. "Speech," she said. "From the couple of the hour." "Birthdays are about the birthday," I said. "Don't be shy," she pushed. "Give us a line about love that lasts." Emma looked at me like I owed her entertainment. "Say something sweet." "No." The table tittered. It wasn't mean yet, but it was heading there. Tara took over. "Fine. I'll say it. Some people don't realize what they have until it's gone. Then they should realize," I replied. Emma's smile was a rubber band. "He's teasing." "No," I said. "I'm declining to perform." A guy at the end, I think his name was Drew, leaned in. "Man, just give the lady a toast. Happy wife, happy life." I met his eyes. "I don't do slogans." He looked away first. "Small win. The kind that tells you where you're standing." The server brought the cake. Emma stood to slice it and leaned to whisper in my ear without covering the mic. "You'll look bad if you keep this up." "I can live with that." She straightened, bright voice on. "To friends and upgrades." The table laughed. Or half did. The other half glanced at me. She kept the smile. "Kidding," she added. "Relax." I stood. "Come again." "Same temperature." "I'm stepping out," I told her. 90 minutes are up." "You're not serious," she hissed. "Completely." "You're going to walk out on my friend's birthday?" "I'm walking out on a bit that should have been retired." "Sit down," Tara snapped. "I'm not available for direction," I replied, taking my jacket. Emma grabbed my wrist the way a person grabs a bag rolling off a seat. "Don't you dare." I looked at her hand, then at her face. "Last call," I said quietly. "You want a partner? I'm here. You want a prop? I'm not." She let go. That small movement told me more than her speeches. She wanted the room, not me in it. Not really. That was my point of no return. On the way out, I found the server and paid for the cake with my card, because clean exits are actually clean. At the curb, I texted her, short, "Movers, Friday 9. I called my realtor and told her to draw up the papers on the condo. Then I sat in my car long enough to make sure my hands were steady, and I drove home to pack. Monday, I called utilities and took my name off the ones I'd added for her comfort. Not to leave her in the dark, but because I was leaving. I told HR to remove her from my emergency contact list. I changed my mailing address to the condo address even before it closed. The office would hold my letters a week. I ordered a second set of tools because I wasn't about to drive across town for a wrench. Logistics over drama. Steps over speeches. Tuesday night, she tried another tactic. She waited by the guest room door with a photo album and set it on the bed. "Look," she said. "We had good years." "We did," I agreed, sitting on the edge. "We can again." "We could," I said, "if respect wasn't negotiable for you." "It's not," she replied too fast. "It is whenever you want something." She turned a page. "You're really going to give up on us." "I'm not giving up on me." "You're cold." "I'm clean." She closed the album. "You'll regret this." "I won't." She threw the line like a dart. "You'll never find someone who puts up with you. That's the goal." She stared at me for a long beat, then stood and walked out without another word. I put the album on top of a box because I didn't need to pretend. In my email set the closing documents. I signed them. I told my boss I was taking Friday morning. I told Nate to come by if he wanted free pizza for carrying bookcases. He wrote on it. He knows my language. Thursday night, she asked, quieter, sitting at the kitchen table with a glass of water. "You really scheduled movers?" "Yes." "You're not bluffing." "I don't bluff. I offer terms." I don't want this. Then you should have wanted me before you wanted the audience. She touched the rim of her glass. You're not even angry. I'm past angry. She nodded like she finally saw the road. What are you going to tell people? The truth. We wanted different things. I wanted respect. You wanted control. You're going to make me look bad, she said, and that was the first honest sentence in days. You did that fine on your own. Is there anything I can say to change your mind? Yes, I answered. But it would have to be something you could live in. Not just say. And I don't think you want that. She stared at the table. I don't know how to be whatever you want. I want calm and honesty. I don't know if I can do calm, she admitted. It was almost human. It nearly cut through. Then we're done, I said. Friday morning the truck pulled up at 9. Nate and Janelle came by in old shirts. Alicia sent coffee. We loaded boxes. I took the tools, the books, the clothes I actually wear, my grandfather's watch, and the photos that mattered. I left the couch because it was hers before me. I left the picture that always annoyed me over the fireplace because it never belonged to me anyway. Emma stood in the doorway, arms folded like she was hugging herself. You're really doing this, she said. Yes. You're punishing me. No, I told her. Punishment is about pain. This is about distance. You're throwing away a marriage. I'm throwing away a game. She looked at Nate like he might referee. Talk to him. Nate wiped his hands. Not my field. Unbelievable, she said. I handed her a small envelope with a list inside. The utility contacts she needed to switch, the dates bills were due, the keys I was leaving on the counter, and the line about the next steps for the house if she wanted to buy me out of the equity I'd put in. Adult. Simple. No threats. Numbers that add up. What is this? She asked. It's courtesy. She opened it, scanned, and looked up. You think you're better than everyone. No, I think I'm better than this. I took a last look around the rooms we had packed with both good and noise. I don't do ceremonies. I do closure. I set my own key on the counter, kept the key fob that was mine, and rolled my suitcase to the door. She followed me onto the porch. Say something, she demanded. Say anything. I turned. You wanted a man who chases. I'm not him. You wanted a stage. I'm not a prop. You wanted control. I'm not a handle. That's not a goodbye. Here's goodbye, I said, and it was the cleanest thing I said all week. You can replace me. I won't replace myself. What does that even mean? It means I leave with my standards intact. Good luck. I walked to the truck. Nate shut the door. The movers pulled away. No music swelled. No big crowd. Just a driveway and a clear morning. The condo felt like a toolbox. Empty until you start putting things in the right drawers. Within a month, the place looked like I actually lived there. Simple table. Solid bed. Coffee machine that worked when I wanted it to. Saturdays in the garage with Nate. Sundays fishing with an old friend from high school who'd moved back to town. At work, Alicia pushed a project live that put my name on a slide in a room where people stood when they saw the numbers. She shook my hand in the hallway. Looks like you're sleeping now, she said. I am. You dating yet? She asked with the candor of someone who has earned it. Not rushing. Met someone at Janelle's sister's barbecue who talks about real things. We'll see. Good, she smiled. Real is good. News about Emma came sideways like it always does. Tara posted fewer group photos. The birthday crowd got quiet. I heard she moved to a smaller place across town that didn't have space for all the parties. She texted me once a month later, a long message about how we could reset if I came to a dinner she was hosting. I wrote back one sentence. I wish you calm. Then I blocked the number because sometimes the clean thing is to skip the encore. I don't tell this to be dramatic. I tell it because men ask me how it ends when you stop performing. It ends like this. You keep your name. You keep your peace. You leave the stage in the middle of the act, and you don't look back at whether the audience clapped. You go to the garage. You fix the car. You set a line, and you don't move it. And when someone says, if I want to, I can replace you in 24 hours, you don't shout. You smile as little as necessary, and you